In this video, we'll discuss the grueling case of Tristyn Bailey, a 13-year-old girl who was murdered by a 14-year-old fellow student she barely knew on Mother's Day, May 9th, 2021. You'll get to know exactly what happened that day and in the months that followed. But before we start, here's a quick reminder for all of you. If this kind of video is something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe to get notified when a new video has been posted. Also, hang on till the end of the video so that you don't miss any important information. Now, let's start this story. Who is Tristyn Bailey? Before we get into the details of what happened in this case, it might be important to know a bit more about the victim. Tristyn Bailey grew up in a family of 7, with her parents Stacy and Forrest, and 4 more siblings. She attended Patriot Oaks Academy as a student and a cheerleader, and resided in Durbin Crossing in St. Johns County. Who is Aiden Fucci? Aiden Sean Fucci, the killer in this case, was 14 at the time of the murder and lived close to Bailey. He also attended Patriot Oaks Academy as a student. Investigators have learned from Fucci's girlfriend as well as from his friends that Fucci had already frequently discussed killing others at the time. By the looks of it, he even specifically expressed his plan to bring a random person into the woods and stab her. Even though we might now know what Fucci has done to our victim, at the time, there were no obvious signs of him being a criminal at all, since he had never committed a crime before. How did Tristyn Bailey die? Now that we have some background information, let's see how the actual murder we're talking about took place. According to police records, as a first step, Aiden Fucci was said to have requested Bailey's phone number the night before he killed her. On the actual day of the murder, Fucci convinced the victim to leave her house and meet at a friend's place. This event can be seen on video footage from another house. It shows 2 individuals who are thought to be Fucci and Bailey walking east on Saddlestone Drive, near the area where her body was later discovered, towards the end of a retention pond. The same video appears to show Fucci returning alone an hour and 45 minutes later. Tristyn, our victim, would have already been dead by then. An unredacted warrant statement provided by the state attorney mentions that Tristyn had 114 stab or cutting wounds around her head, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, and back. The medical examiner reported that at least 49 of them were defensive wounds. What does Aiden Fucci say about the situation? In the arrest report for Fucci, he confirmed spending time with Bailey at a friend's residence on May 9th, 2021, and leaving with her at around 1:10 a.m. He said he walked around a while until getting to his Castledale Court home at about 3:30 a.m. However, an investigator said Fucci kept changing his story. Finally, according to Fucci, him and Bailey got into a fight, and during the argument, he pushed Bailey to the ground, where she struck her head. Later on, Fucci was nevertheless arrested on a charge of second-degree murder. Due to the violent nature of the act, the state attorney's office for the 7th Circuit later upgraded the charge to first-degree murder, premeditated. Fucci was charged as an adult while only being 14 years of age. Evidence against Fucci. To be able to prove Aiden Fucci's guiltiness, evidence was of course needed. For example, a buck knife with a missing tip was found in the pond near the victim's body. It matched a fragment lodged in Bailey's scalp and was identified as being Fucci's knife. DNA evidence as well as security video also existed. Added up to this was the fact that Fucci had bloody clothes and wet shoes in his room, dirt and blood on the bathroom sink drain, and wet denim jeans in a laundry basket. In his room, a notepad containing violent drawings and an empty knife sheath were discovered. Cell phone records and emails, Snapchats, recorded phone calls and texts from jail, and interviews with friends, family, teachers, and fellow inmates all are further evidence in the case. Fucci's girlfriend has also claimed to investigators that he frequently carried a knife and talked about killing people, even herself. He would come up from behind her and pretend to slit her throat. However, she claimed that she and his friends never took it seriously. Additionally, she reported that when he was angry, Fucci claimed to hear voices in his head. He admitted to the court that he took antidepressants. What possible sentence did Aiden Fucci face? Despite being charged with first-degree murder as an adult, our killer was not eligible for the death penalty because he still was a juvenile. He did face 40 years to life in prison though. After serving 25 years of a life term, the judge can review the possibility of a lighter sentence. According to Florida law, Fucci in prison. As we mentioned, on March 24, 2021, Fucci was given a life sentence by Judge R. Lee Smith of Florida's 7th Judicial Circuit. Smith stated in his sentencing that Tristyn Bailey suffered a painful, horrifying death from someone that she trusted. He also said the crime had no motive and that it was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. According to the Sheriff's Office incident reports, during his time in prison, Fucci got involved in numerous fights, was found keeping illegal substances, bullying inmates into giving up their commissary products, threatening them, and engaging in violent behavior with guards. He had to be pepper sprayed and restrained on more than one occasion. An inmate also said Fucci asserted that he was real because he stabbed a girl face to face, unlike others who resorted to shooting someone. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for making it to the end, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video in the comments. We hope to see you back at some of our other videos.